Happy day, universe! Today I just wanted to talk about some of my favorite animes. I have a lot of friends that ask me about, like, what I would recommend, stuff like that, and instead of just writing out reviews all the time and doing things like that, I'd rather just make a video, to be honest, because I'm a lazy asshole. But, so today I just want to talk about my top 5 favorite anime. I mean, I hope to do maybe more videos eventually. I don't know how this will go because I often do this thing where I'm like, courage, I has it. Let me carry through these things and I will do them and I will be happy. And then I'm like, I did it. I hate everything. Bye. Things like that. But, just to start off with my top 5 favorite... This is gonna be difficult. Basically, this top 5 isn't gonna be my real top 5 because I want to, like, kind of exclude the more common anime. Of course, my number 1 is very common, but I'm gonna say it anyway, so... But I just kind of like want to exclude things like Attack on Titan and Cowboy Bebop. Even though I love them, I'm just not gonna talk about them because everybody watches them. Nah. But anyways, let's get the show on the road. My number 1 favorite anime ever since 7th grade is Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. And I just have to say that when I was younger and I watched it, like, I really liked it because things I shouldn't say on the internet but will. I had a really big crush on Edward Elric and I loved him and he was my life partner. Not really, because you can't be life partners with cartoon characters, can you? That's not how life works. But I loved it because of that, and like it was just funny and like lighthearted, but then it was dark and like had a cool storyline. I just really liked it. But then a few years ago, I decided to rewatch it all because it had been so long since I had actually seen the whole series, and it's just kind of like the depth that it goes into is. It applies so much when you're older, I guess. Like, even though it is very lighthearted and you can like laugh and stuff at the jokes and the situations and everything like that, like it goes into this point where it's just like it speaks to your soul. And like if you're like me and like you really get into shows that you watch and like you lose yourself in them, then it's almost a bad thing, I guess, because I kind of was just like really sad and like about everything, and I was like, life can end at any time, doesn't mean anything at any point, why? Kind of stuff. So I mean, like, you need to really like think about that before you're watching it, like if you're mentally in a good place, because it can take you there. 0 to 100 real quick. But moving on, my second favorite that I would like to mention is Steins Gate. I did not, like, when I saw it, I was like, I'll watch it, whatever, I'm bored, I don't care. Like, I wasn't looking to find what I found. And so, basically, it's about this guy, and he's like, I'm a mad scientist. Nobody believes him. Then he actually is a mad scientist, and everybody's like, oh my god. And like it's about time travel, and like the characters are just like way out there, and they're cool and they're funny and they're just weird and you don't know things. But basically it's one of those like mysterious animes where it's like something happens and you're like, this happened, but how did we get here to this place? And then it like spends the story going back and hand gestures. There's not, I mean there is, but it's, you know, it's like an M. Night Shyamalan film. Plot twists everywhere, like a Twizzler, but it's anime. Don't eat it. But yeah, it's just a really good anime. It's really funny, and then it gets really serious. But like, the whole time you're just like, how did this happen? How did I get here? But yeah, I want to cosplay as the girl. Which girl? I'm not telling you. Okay, so number 3. Ding. It's Fooly, Cooly, or FLCL, and I know I have so many friends, and they refuse to admit that it's a good anime because they're like, it's so pretentious. People think that it's so cool because it's so short, and it's not that cool. Nothing really even happens. And that being said, whether you look into it and you find that deeper meaning to it, I just think it's cool because it's funny, things happen, they don't make sense, and then they do, kind of. But I mean, like, if you're just looking for something short and lighthearted to pass your time, then FLCL is the way to go. And I mean, I think I also like it just because the place that the director was coming from, because he just wanted, he had spent so much time doing Evangelion that he just kind of was like, I need happiness, or something like that. That could be totally and completely wrong, and I might have just made it up. You don't know. I do what I want to. Welcome to the video. And yeah, so that's FLCL. And this should have came before FLCL because I like this one way better. It's Durarara. I like to call it Durarara because I can never remember how many Ra's are in it. But I recommend this anime to anybody that ever asks me. Like, I don't think that it appeals. It's kind of like when people start watching anime and they just watch Naruto, because it appeals to everybody, and that's what I feel like Durarara is. It appeals to me because it has that mysterious aspect to it where it's like words! It starts off at a point and you're like, oh, how did we get to this point? And they're like, don't worry, we'll spend the whole season explaining it to you. Like, if you've ever seen the last season of Arrested Development, how they start off at the one thing that happens on the ship, and everybody's like, oh, this huge event happened that affected everybody's life, but what were the events that led us to this one event? And that's what it does in Durarara. Like, it'll be like, starting at this day, oh, how did this happen? Let's go back. And so you spend the whole season being explained, like, and not finishing thoughts. It's a talent of mine. Jumping because I don't know what I was gonna say. But another really cool aspect of it is like, of course there's bias from the creators of specific characters that they show more of, but at the same time I feel like the animators and the creators or whatever are really, really good about giving all the characters a really good storyline and an equal amount of spotlight. And like, it's so easy, like, you don't pick sides really. You're like, he is a jerk, and then it's like, oh no, wait, this is what happened. That's why I thought that he was a jerk, but he's not a jerk. He's a good guy. He had a place that he was coming from. And like, I could spend hours talking about this show. This show and Fullmetal Alchemist, I'm ending it. I'm done. Moving on to the next one. On to the next one. Okay. I actually, to be honest, have not finished this anime yet, but I can tell you this doesn't happen a lot for me. I was halfway through the first episode and was like, I'm in love. I'm in love. But usually it takes me like 4 episodes to even get into the story. But Princess Jellyfish. Oh my gosh. Despite what you may think, I'm 22 years old, and so I've finally kind of in the Josie anime demographic, and I've finally reached the point of accepting this and embracing it and being able to watch these Josie animes and